on how to get your reading results with Achieve3000 from something like this in January to this in February, like almost instantaneously? Well, I found out a way to do that. One of the things that I was looking for was a way to connect with kids about Achieve3000 because they may not have a favorable opinion for it. Well, I used gaming. I like to gamify my room. So I said, you know what, guys, we're going to have a challenge, but I got to tell you something. You like video games, right? And of course they say, yeah. And it's like, well, tell me something about video games. And I have them tell me a little bit about video games, and I lead them into challenges like from level 1 to level 15. You don't just walk and get from each level like a maze. That would be boring. So what happens between level 1 before you can get level 2 and level up? And they are led to saying, well, you have challenges or obstacles. And I was like, yeah, you're right, you do. And in order to get to the next level, you have to go through all those challenges or obstacles, right? Yeah. And I go, you're right, you do. Well, you guys, you don't know this, but Achieve3000 is a video game. They're owned by one of the largest gaming conglomerates in the world. And they're like, no. And I'm, yeah. And I'm telling you, let me prove it to you. They do own this, and what they're doing is they are gaining information from you guys to put into their games, because what do they do before you get and you level up to the next level? You have a challenge or an obstacle. So I start telling them about how Achieve3000 is like that, and that I'm their master hacker, because anytime they can't figure out something, what do the kids do? They'll go to YouTube. They'll go looking for a way, somebody else, or ask a friend. And I go, well, I'm your guy here to crack Achieve3000's code and to help you level up. They don't necessarily want you to know it's a game because you are kind of giving them the research data. But if you want to break the code and win the game, then I'm going to tell you how to do that. So the first thing I'll do is I'll throw a very simple passage up there, and I say, now this right here is a second grade passage, but let's see how well you do, because the one thing that Achieve3000 has come to a conclusion with, I'll tell you in just a minute. So I'll read that out loud orally to them, then go over that. And then the next screen I flip up, I was like, okay, boys and girls, what's the correct answer? And I go, A, B, and not all of them go, whoosh, that's the answer. They don't know for sure. So I'm getting to this point, and then I said, okay, let's go through and do the work and see what happens. Now, of course, no one has asked me to remove the black box that's covering up the information, not once. And I go, you guys, if you were a team, everybody should have shot their hand up on the right answer, but you didn't. Everybody had a different answer. If you guys were great readers or great, had a great ability to knock this game out, you'd all come up with the same conclusion and have the same answer. And I go, Achieve3000 knows one thing. And that one thing is that you guys are lazy. Nobody goes back and looks for their answer. Nobody goes back to highlight their proof for why they chose that answer. Well, I'm your master hacker here, and I'm going to show you how to hack this question, because let me show you what Achieve3000 does. This is their number one trick against students, because they know that they won't go back and look for information, and that they'll guess from what they remember, what they read. And if they get it wrong, they may go back, but they hardly ever highlight. So let me show you what the problem is here. So let's go through each of these choices. And I'll go through A, and it's 111 feet 6 inches and weighs 225 pounds. Well, that one right there, they change one word. Achieve3000 does this all the time. They will take one word and make that sentence wrong. What word is that there? And I went back and I would highlight in front of them. It's not pounds, it's tons. If they change that one word, this whole thing's wrong. And I'll go through B, 225 tons, 111 feet tall. They left out 6 inches, a number and one word. And then in C, 111 feet, 6 centimeters. They changed the word inches to 2 letters, CM. So they are very tricky. That's the number one hack. And that's my first tip for you guys, because if you get that question, you got to go back and highlight. Now, when you highlight, sometimes or when you don't highlight, your brain will read something. But when you highlight, you your brain will see something that it didn't see before. So it's important when you're looking at something for the answer as your proof, you highlight the words so that your brain can see things that may be tricked by. And you should practice that, because it's going to be important when you get up in the 6, the 7, and the 800 levels, or 7, 8, whatever levels you'd like to say. But that's important too. They're just like amazed. It's like, yeah, that we're all wrong. So I go through just that one example, and then I go into my pro tip. Now, my pro tip for leveling up is a not question. Achieve3000 will ask you a not question if you're getting close to leveling up. And the reason why is because they're trying to keep you from getting to the next level, just like the games, right? So the not question, you're not picking one answer that is correct. You have to find 3 that are, and which one is not correct. So by that question, you are getting close. You know you're getting close. So you got to be extra careful about that. Now, you have to go through and find one, the other, and we go over that. So those are my 2 pro tips to get them started. And it really lightens up. Everybody gets not question. And it's like eventually your not question, which will change the word to not to which of the following except, same as the not question. But that comes up in the higher levels. But you'll need to know that too. How I do my points is I walk them through and I say, you have your daily points, and your points are, in this case, 761. I say, you see above 75%, that's your multiplier. So every time you get an article above 75%, it will grow that number. So your friend may have 5,000 points and a 1 there, but if you have 500 points and a 15 there, who has more points? Even though you have 500 and your friend has 5,000, you have more points because you have more above 75%. So that's your multiplier there. Then I'd have them click on the shield. And when they click the shield, I say, look, you get badges. And badges are for various different things. It's not like an increasing number like the percent above 75. They have control over that. So what I tell them about the badges is that the badges actually unlock challenges. If you overcome a challenge that Achieve3000 threw at you, like they thought you were going to get this question wrong, but you got it right, and you get like 2 in a row or something like that, they will unlock these badges. And sometimes the badges they'll unlock because you get the most points during the day at school, and you can get a badge unlocked for that. Now, anytime they have a badge unlock, I like to take a Seesaw or a screenshot of that and put it into their Seesaw account, but not part of the gaming. You can see here that it has their growth and what their points are and their badges. Now, I use this growth graph here. I have clubs. I have a 100 club, a 200 club, a 300 club, a 400 club, all the way up to 1,500. And I can tell that this student it's at level 610. You are on the 600 club, and you only have 90 levels to go before you level up to the 700 club. And I have Schoology badges that correlate with each of the clubs. So if they level up, they get a badge, and the badge comes with, you can put text in a Schoology badge that says, okay, be careful of this coming up on your next level. But if they're at 655 or 695, they know they're really close to leveling up, and that if they do well, that they can go to that next level. There's also this progress bar down here. Now, Achieve3000, if you read 40 articles and you get 75% or above, they do have a guarantee of what your reading growth would be. Now, I tell them that the 40 is the goal to get that, and that's only for 75% or above. But if they get 40, they break the bar and they get another bar that'll bring them up to 80. And some of the data that's available on Achieve's site, if you pull it up, this program is super, super, super strong, not for necessarily the advanced readers, but your struggling readers. They're the ones who really jump and benefit from it. And English learners, special ed, these are their results. And it's based on, you can see the red's 40, but the growth with the blue is if they read 80 articles above 75%. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how I use the data that comes from it, because there's bonus points in the data reports that they can earn to help level up. So I will make a whole nother video for that. But that's how I get my kids started. All the kids love it. They can't wait to do Achieve3000. Before I'm finishing talking about it, like I just mentioned here, they're already trying to get in there and crack the code. And you know what the great thing is that when they're earning points, they are not competing necessarily against each other, like, oh, I got more points than you. It's not like that at all, because when they video game, mostly they're doing it by themselves, and they're just going for the high score. So they're applauding each other because they're all like going for the same goal, to crack Achieve3000 and to be the top score. And it's not anything in all the classes I've done it with, something that has been negative. It's been very positive. They applaud each other when they level up and they're doing well. So it's been a lot of fun to actually use this, and there's so much data in this, and student agency, and goal setting. It is fantastic. So I have really enjoyed it. I'll tell you more in the next video.